What's going on YouTube? As promised, I'm back to talk about the Lamborghini Countach for a second time, showing the LP400 again, this time in green, and the 25th anniversary edition in red, referred to by Lamborghini as the Anniversario. If you didn't see part 1, I'll put a link in the description. Okay, so right off the bat, you can see the packaging is the same as the two in the first video, and I really love these boxes. They have a silky smooth matte texture to them, and I like how the Countach has its own unique style apart from the typical Tomica boxes. They're just really nice. This version of the car came out in 1988 to mark the 25th anniversary of the Countach. There were only 657 of them produced, and it's known to be the pinnacle version of this car. Many people also consider it to be the best looking, but I'm definitely partial to the original design. Also, as promised in the first video, here's a look at the engine. The latch on the Anniversario edition actually stays opened up, which is really nice and not the case with the other versions. I said so in part 1, but this was an extremely reliable, naturally aspirated V12 which was used in various iterations from the 1970s all the way to 2011. In fact, the engine used in the Anniversario edition is slightly different than the one used in the original Countach, with the original being a 4-liter and the Anniversario being a 5.2-liter. And there was a lot of effort put into making the Anniversario handle better than previous versions of the Countach, and certain interior features were added or improved upon as well, such as better seats, power windows, a better air conditioner, and more effective sound insulation. There were also some changes to the exterior, such as redesigned fenders, redesigned wheels, larger side skirts, and a larger front bumper, both of which were equipped with air vents for cooling the brakes. These updates to Marcello Gandini's original design were done by Horacio Pagani, who is an Argentine-Italian businessman and engineer and the founder of the Italian specialty automaker of the same name. I love the interior on these, especially the Anniversario. And speaking of the interior, the inside of the Countach is so small that anyone over 6 feet tall would have a tough time trying to drive one of these, which I find to be pretty funny because Lamborghini's test driver Bob Wallace was 6'2". The Countach is also infamous for being nearly impossible to drive in reverse. It's not uncommon for someone backing up the Countach to do so with the door open and their body partially out of the car. I'm not making this up. This is because the field of vision is basically non-existent through the tiny rear window. I'm not sure if Tomica has any plans to release the Countach in any other colors, but I'll be sure to make a video for it if they do. More than any other color, I'd love to see this in the signature copper brown color, but I would also really like to see this car in white, which was the color of Ferruccio Lamborghini's personal Countach. It was a dream of his to own one of these cars from the time of its inception. However, as I stated in the previous video, Ferruccio sold his remaining shares in the company before the Countach was released to the public. Years after this happened, a friend of Ferruccio's informed him that there was a cancelled order for an LP400 S2 low body, also informing him that this might be his last chance to purchase a new Countach because Lamborghini was not doing well at the time financially, and it was thought that the company would go bankrupt. From what I understand, he was thrilled at the prospect of having his own Countach, except for the fact that the car that was offered to him was painted in red. Ferruccio felt that the only color suited for the Countach was white, so the factory changed the color of the car prior to shipping it out, and it was delivered to him in May of 1980. During the making of this video, I discovered that in August of 2021, Lamborghini unveiled a brand new Countach, the LPI 800-4, which I was surprised to find out is a hybrid, and even more surprised to find out that it's not Lamborghini's first hybrid. That title goes to the Sion, which is not only the first hybrid made by Lamborghini, but is also the first hybrid supercar. There were only 63 of them produced, and I won't go into any more detail about it because there's a chance that I'll make a video for it in the future. I found one made by Takara Tomy, which is a sister brand of Tomica Limited Vintage. I haven't decided if I'll order it though because Takara Tomy appears to be significantly lower in quality compared to the Limited Vintage line, so we'll see. And while I can't find a 1/64 scale representation of the new Countach, there is a 1/18 scale model made by MR Collection, which you can buy on Lamborghini's official website. It appears to be a premium quality model, but it costs just $3 shy of $600, which is way out of my price range, especially given that nothing else in my collection is in that scale, and it would bother me to not have it in the same scale as the other cars. So here's to hoping somebody makes a nice 1/64 scale model of the new Countach. If anyone does, it'll probably be Mini GT, which is fine by me because the Cento DHE from my previous video fits into the collection perfectly. I would love to know which of these is your favorite and what color you'd like to see if Tomica makes another one, so definitely leave a comment and let me know. I would say the green one's probably my favorite, but if I was able to drive one of these 4 cars in real life, I'd pick the yellow one. Not to say I wouldn't drive a green Countach, because I definitely would. I just have a hard time picturing myself driving a car in that color. But alright, that's going to do it for this one, so leave a like, comment, subscribe, or do nothing. But either way, if you made it this far, I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks.